What if your child was silently crying for help, but you couldn't hear it? What if their smile was just a mask hiding a storm inside? Childhood depression doesn't always look like sadness. It often shows up as irritability, withdrawal, or sudden changes in behavior. And the scary part? Many parents miss the signs until it's too late. In today's video, we're going to uncover 10 powerful signs that your child might be struggling with depression. Some of them may seem subtle, but together they can reveal a much deeper truth. Recognizing these signs early can make all the difference in helping your child heal. So ask yourself, do you really know what's going on in your child's mind? Let's explore together. Introduction. Depression is often misunderstood as an adult problem. But the truth is, children and teenagers face it too. And in many ways, it's even more dangerous because it often goes unnoticed. According to studies, rates of depression in children and teens have risen dramatically over the last decade. Social pressure, academic stress, loneliness, and even digital overload are all factors that can push young minds toward emotional struggles. But here's the challenge. Kids rarely walk up to you and say, "I'm depressed." Instead, they show it through changes in behavior, emotions, or physical health. That's why it's so important for parents, teachers, and even friends to recognize the signs. Before we dive in, let me ask you, have you ever noticed your child acting differently and wondered if it was just a phase or something much deeper? Let's break down the 10 most important signs. 1. Loss of interest in activities. One of the earliest signs of childhood depression is when kids stop enjoying the things they once loved. Maybe your child used to love playing football, painting, or spending hours building with Legos. Suddenly, none of these bring joy anymore. Instead, they seem disinterested, bored, or emotionally flat. It is important to distinguish between a child naturally growing out of an activity and a child losing interest in everything. Depression often causes a global loss of pleasure, what psychologists call anhedonia. Cross-question for you. When was the last time your child seemed genuinely excited about something? 2. Withdrawal from friends and family. Depression often drives children into isolation. They may avoid playdates, stop hanging out with friends, or retreat to their rooms after school. Family dinners might turn into silence, with your child barely engaging. While it's normal for teens to crave privacy, depression-driven withdrawal feels different. It's not about independence. It's about shutting the world out. Ask yourself, does my child choose solitude to recharge, or are they isolating because they feel emotionally empty? 3. Irritability and anger. Outbursts. Here's a surprising truth. Depression in children doesn't always look like sadness. More often, it shows up as irritability, mood swings, or unexplained anger. Parents may misinterpret this as bad behavior or just being difficult. But behind the irritability, there may be frustration, hopelessness, or inner pain. Think about it. Do you punish your child for being moody, or do you pause to ask what's really behind that anger? 4. Sudden drop in school performance. If your child's grades suddenly fall, it might not be because they're lazy or careless. Depression affects focus, memory, and motivation. A once attentive student may suddenly struggle to complete assignments or lose interest in learning altogether. Teachers may describe them as distracted or not trying, but in reality, their mind could be overwhelmed with negative thoughts. Ask yourself, do you assume poor performance is laziness, or do you consider the emotional weight your child might be carrying? 5. Extreme fatigue or low-energy depression is exhausting. Children may feel tired even after sleeping. Some may oversleep, while others struggle with insomnia. Either way, they lack the energy to function normally. If your child seems constantly drained, uninterested, or lacking in motivation, it may not be just tiredness. It may be a symptom of deeper emotional struggles. 6. Drastic changes in eating habits. Food often reflects emotional state. Some children with depression lose their appetite completely, skipping meals or eating very little. Others may turn to food for comfort, overeating to fill emotional emptiness. Notice the patterns: sudden weight gain or loss, frequent complaints of not being hungry, or emotional eating without real hunger. Cross-question: have you noticed your child's eating habits changing suddenly, without any clear reason? 7. Physical complaints. Without medical cause. This is one of the trickiest signs. Depressed children often complain of stomach aches, headaches, or body pains. Yet when taken to a doctor, no clear medical cause is found. These physical symptoms are very real, but they're rooted in emotional stress. The body is speaking the mind's pain. If your child frequently feels unwell but doctors can't explain why, depression may be hiding behind those symptoms. 8. Persistent feelings of worthlessness or guilt. Pay attention to your child's self-talk. Do they often say things like, "I'm not good enough," "I ruin everything," or "nobody likes me"? Children with depression internalize negativity. They feel guilty for things beyond their control, or they believe they're a burden to others. Cross-question: when your child makes mistakes, do they move on, or do they keep punishing themselves long after? 9. Talking about death or running away. This is one of the most serious warning signs. If your child makes casual remarks about wanting to disappear, run away, or even die, take it seriously. Sometimes they say it jokingly or in passing, but behind the words lies a cry for help. Even if you think they don't fully understand the concept, it's a clear sign of deep emotional pain. Imagine this: if your child whispered about not wanting to live, how would you respond? 10. Sudden personality or mood shifts. Perhaps your cheerful, outgoing child suddenly becomes quiet and withdrawn, or your gentle child becomes irritable and defiant. Depression often reshapes personality in ways that seem out of character. It's the contrast that matters, the sudden, unexplained shift. This is your signal to pay closer attention. Cross-question: is your child changing in ways that you can't explain? Conclusion: depression in children doesn't always scream. It whispers through subtle changes in behavior, energy, and mood. Let's quickly recap the 10 signs to watch out for. Loss of interest in activities. Withdrawal from friends and family, irritability and anger outbursts, sudden drop in school performance, extreme fatigue or low energy, drastic changes in eating habits, physical complaints without clear medical cause, persistent feelings of worthlessness or guilt, talking about death or running away, sudden personality or mood shifts. If you notice several of these signs persisting over weeks or months, don't dismiss them as just a phase. Reach out with empathy, create space for open conversation, and when needed, seek professional support. Remember, noticing the signs is the first step toward healing. Children may not always know how to ask for help, but with awareness, you can be the one who listens when nobody else does. Question for you: which of these signs have you noticed in children around you? Comment below. Your insights might help another parent. And if you found this video valuable, please share it. You never know. Your share could save a life.